Match week 15. I mean,
Yes.
we already played 14 games, so this is coming into match week 15.
And with match week 15, we have Simon here, Aston Villa fan. For how many years, Simon? Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
How long have you been a Villa fan?
Well, I'm 40 at the moment, so as long as I can remember, so I don't know.
That's
34, 35 years, I guess.
Yeah, because you're from the UK, right?
Yeah, I'm from Birmingham, so
Yeah.
like just outside from that city, and yeah, it's like basically my local club. And,
Nice.
Wouldn't want to support Birmingham City, so
Yeah, welcome to the show, though. Thank you for coming. Villa is performing really well.
Yeah.
I feel, and I just want to maybe talk about it. What do you feel about their performance this season so far?
I mean, to be frank, it's been exceptional. I mean, this is the best football I have seen Villa play in my lifetime.
Okay.
Like, it really is like transformational. The job that Unai Emery has done, particularly from where he picked us up from, has been, nothing short of.
Who was your previous manager?
Gerrard.
I was hoping
Steven
that
Gerrard, the one that he wanted.
I never said
He
Gerrard.
wanted
I'm
as a
saying
Liverpool
that
manager.
actually at that point of time when he went over, I was saying that it was too early for him to go to the Premier League. He needs to manage a bit more and gain more experience.
I mean,
But,
yes, that
yeah.
was very true. I mean, he was a disaster for us.
Why?
We did you a massive host.
Oh, thank
He
you.
played terrible football. He didn't get. He came in his first month. He was very successful. Everyone liked his chat. He'd obviously done well at Rangers. Although if you speak to a lot of Scottish football fans, they were like, "Well, Celtic were particularly terrible that season." I mean, he stopped Celtic winning their 10th Scottish Premier 10th title in a row.
Yeah.
But he said that it was very simple football. It was like just sort of bomb it up the wing, cross, bomb it up the ring, cross, and he kind of denigrated the players that were there, and he would always come out with well, we need a little bit of magic. If the players aren't up to it, I'll sign better players. And he didn't.
So he didn't know how to manage the players.
No, and I kind of like this kind of. My kind of view on Gerrard as a manager, is elite players, like genuine elite players. Like they can either, like some of them go on to be elite managers, but quite a lot of them you find they are managing players that weren't as good as they are, and they can't genuinely understand what they're asking the players to do, they can't do. And whilst there are obviously exceptions, like obviously Guardiola, Zidane's had a great career, although you could argue he's not. They've both managed elite players. Keane's bombed out, Lampard's bombed out. Particularly on the British side. And Gerrard, massively bombed out. And you see he's now in Saudi. And when we fired him, we were going down. We were 17th in the league. I mean, this is just over a year ago. So he's fired in, I think it was the 20th of October.
Last season, huh? Last season, yeah.
Yeah, 20th of October. And so, yeah, I mean, we were dire. We were rubbish. And it was terrible football. And yeah.
And in came Unai, who
Yeah.
was ex-Arsenal manager.
Yeah.
Who didn't do too well in Arsenal, but somehow he's doing well.
But before you talk about Unai,
Yeah.
okay, I would like to stand corrected about Steven.
You want to
Gerrard.
defend Gerrard,
I want to
you
defend
want to
Gerrard
defend your
because I'm
legend.
from Liverpool.
Okay.
He's my favorite player.
Alright, okay.
However,
Favorite player, not manager, though.
yeah, he's a favorite player.
Two different
But
things.
I feel, I concur to what Simon had said.
Yeah.
Some player he makes a good player, but he doesn't make a good manager, which I totally concur with him. I didn't say Steven Gerrard to manage.
No, I
think
never say you. He wanted. Yeah,
He wanted.
He's probably the top 3 players I've ever seen play live.
Okay.
Like, he's just incredible.
Incredible.
But not maybe he needs more experience.
Totally. Look, he's
be a
young,
better
right?
manager, yeah.
He's
He's only
early
40,
40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
then again,
there's plenty of time ahead of him to learn. How much is he going to learn in Saudi?
yeah, that was just what
I
I
don't
was about
know,
to say,
right?
right?
So-
Will he improve a lot in Saudi?
His bank account's going to learn a lot. But,
A lot of players are there.
yeah, exactly. So, but yeah,
Ronaldo is
obviously.
right, guys. CR7 is right.
Right, what?
About Saudi.
Ah,
No?
I don't know. Let's talk about.
So you don't want
Gerrard.
You don't want to Gerrard anymore, right?
No, it's not that I don't want Gerrard. It's just that at that point of time when he was managing, I was saying that the Scottish league compared to our league is actually very, very much different. So I was,
No, it's huge.
so to me, it's like if he wants to come to Liverpool, I rather he stay at Rangers and manage a bit more, go to another league and manage a bit more as well, gain more experience, especially people skills and all that, and then come back to us, because a lot of it's like a lot of fans, especially even Manchester United fans or Chelsea fans. Lampard is coming to manage us. He's a homegrown boy. He will know how to get the emotions out from the players. But the thing is that it's very different now, especially because a lot of players now are foreigners, and then they feel as much emotion as local players as well. As you can see, like from games like
and now plus you can see that Alonso is doing well. That's why you shift your attention to another Liverpool player. He got agenda.
You also have agenda.
No, I have agenda. No, I'm just curious that Unai, he had a language barrier at Arsenal.
Unai come from
Spain.
No, previous season.
He was at Sevilla.
No, then before that,
Mr. Europa? No?
he was at Arsenal.
Yeah.
He was at Arsenal. He got agenda.
I don't have agenda. I'm just curious.
He's curious.
He was at Arsenal, it didn't work out. I'm not sure about the timing, but maybe they were talking about language barriers. He couldn't handle the toxic players, and he was trying to implement a system of passing from the back. Right?
I think if you look at the toxic players, he did handle them. He got rid of them, and Arteta is benefiting from that. I think if you look at Unai at Arsenal, if you reevaluate it now in the cold light of day, he was coming in after a club legend who'd been there 17 years from Wenger.
Oh, Wenger, yeah.
You saw what happened with David Moyes at United after Ferguson left him.
Yep.
He had to really rebuild sort of that club and break a lot of barriers down and get it doing his own way. And when you have that institutional kind of, sort of set in your ways for 17 years, it's an incredibly difficult thing. And I think from what the reporting that I've read is that he didn't have the power that he wanted to do what he wanted. And there was a lot of things in his way. And, that ultimately kind of ended up contributing to sort of it not working out there. And if you look what's happened at Villa and one of the conditions that he had joining is that he now has complete control. So he is in control of everything.
You guys to choose his players.
Yeah, so Monchi, the recruitment guy, he reports to him. Everyone reports to it, and basically there's no kind of CEO anymore.
So he's like a football director and a manager.
Yeah, so the commercial director, so Unai's at the top. The commercial director is this guy called Chris Heck, and he does all of the sort of the finance and everything. Everything football related at Villa now, Unai has complete and utter control over.
So Villa doesn't have a football director.
The director of football reports to Emery.
Oh, okay. It's not like Arteta and Edu.
No.
So that's
So he has complete control of all football operations.
And that's benefiting for you guys.
Yeah.
Well, it's benefiting for Unai. I mean, ultimately he's responsible. I think it's just
You
bringing
like
the
that
best out of
system?
him.
Do you like that system? Wow.
Well, it's working wonders so far. I mean, it may crash and burn, but the evidence of the past year is phenomenal, right? Yeah. Since he's come in, we've got 78 points out of the 39 Premier League games he's played, and we would be third. So that's the form that he's set.
And he brought you guys into the Conference League.
Yeah, so when Gerrard got sacked, there was 2 games and he got appointed. And we were 17th. We were going down under Gerrard.
Yeah.
I mean, we were terrible. I mean, I can't
It's not just
I'm thinking how bad we were.
in terms of performance as well, right?
It's the performance,
everything.
the players
Players
were shot.
were not playing.
He got fired after losing 3-0 away from Fulham. We had I think Douglas Luiz got sent off, or not a player got sent off. I think it was Douglas Luiz, but I need to check. And he just got the owner. One of the owners was there and fired him, and then they brought in Gerrard, and then we just turned it around. I mean, his first game was home to Man United. We hadn't beaten Man United at home for 26 years. He beat them 3-1. Straight away, it was like, build the statue, this guy's for real. And it went from
Maybe
there.
it's the honeymoon period. It's not the honeymoon period, you think? You know, sometimes every club with a new manager.
Honeymoons don't tend to last for a year. Gerrard had a honeymoon period of a month when he came in, and then it all went disastrously wrong. Yeah. Like Emery, you know, there has been some bumps along the road. We had 3 consecutive losses, I think, in sort of January. There was a bad sort of 4-2 home loss to Leicester. There was the Arsenal game where, you know, we were sort of going pound for pound with them, and it was at home. I think it was like 2-2. You had a very, very late goal from, I think, Litvinenko. Smashed it in, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
And then, like, we were chasing it, so Martinez ran up for a corner, and Emery went ape shit, because that's not how he wants to play. It's like, you have to trust the process. And, you know, from that corner, you guys just basically ran down the ball, ran down for 4-2, and it was an open goal, and just walked into the net. Yeah. And he went mental. And it was like, you know, you have to trust the system. This is how we play. It's about scoring goals. And what you see with Emery is that he has signed over the summer, but in his kind of, you know, that sort of 17th to 7th, he only signed one first team player in January, and that was Alex Moreno at left back. Mm-hmm. He improved all those players that were already there. And like, what shows is that they were really good players. They needed to be coached well. Yeah. And, you know, they were coached terribly under Gerrard. And, you know, one thing to say is like, he is an elite manager. He has the trophies. He just needs to be fit into the right club, and we are the right club for him.
He is Mr. Europa.
Yeah, he's Mr. Europa.
Well, he's and I would argue he is the 3rd best manager in the league. Right. Like, if you look at trophies and like record, Guardiola obviously is, you know, number 1. Mm-hmm. You can argue, you know, Klopp may be number 1, but like, you probably have to, given his influence on football, it is Guardiola. Mm-hmm. Klopp, the job that he's done, you know, with the budget he has, is nothing short of remarkable. Mm-hmm. But underneath that, the most successful manager in the league is Emery. He's got 4 Europa Leagues. Yeah. I mean, that is remarkable.
That's why Arsenal hired him in the first place. Over Arteta, you know? Yeah.
Well, the thing about Arteta though, like, Arteta is obviously a good young manager, but he hasn't won anything yet apart from 1 FA Cup. Yes. You know, he's a disciple of Pep. Yeah. You know, and brilliant. So, but you know, he still has a lot to prove. So yeah, I mean, Emery is an elite manager who's done an incredible job. You know, he's not worked out everywhere he's gone. But, you know, since being at Arsenal, he's obviously learnt lessons from that. He's older, he's wiser. His English has improved. He was taking English lessons. United wanted to hire him.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
He has gone so far since good evening.
Yeah. He loves it. He's brilliant. Oh, good afternoon. And one of the things I've really adored him actually to the fans is when he does say this, because he got quite ridiculed in England, I think very unfairly. It's kind of like pseudo, like racist in a way. But he says good evening, and the first thing he says is, I want to thank the fans. And the fans love that. And when you're winning and you're like praising the fans are just...
Yeah, they take it up.
So he's good with the fans, he's good with the players, you know, he's managing the...
I mean, the thing, from what I have read though, Emery is an incredibly intense coach. He drills tactics, he has these huge long video sessions. He actually, you know, in training, when the passing out from the back, he will stop the training session. It's like, no, you need to be standing here. And I think one of the things that has been said, particularly like for more elite players, is they don't like being told what to do. It's like, oh no, let me get on with it. There's a lot of theories that, you know, he does, because of Mr. like Europa and stuff, he works better in just underneath that. And, you know, those players are more receptive to sort of being trained. And, you know, when things start going wrong, the players are less receptive to that. But when you're winning, and we are winning.
They trust him.
They trust him. And like, you know, my personal kind of favorite thing about him is not just how great the football is, but how he's got these players that we knew were good players playing exceptionally. Ollie Watkins, you know, under Gerrard was not useless, but was like running these channels. He's very ineffective. Emery said, no, you study these players. You know, Falcao was one of them he gave to study. I think Crespo. You stay between, you know, the penalty area, and it's our responsibility to get you the ball there to finish. And look at, you know, his numbers this season are, you know,
8 goals.
Excellent.